Good evening, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCalSabre here with my traveling partner, Nick.
Hmm.
And so if you're on here, it's also going to be, I'm going to be an update number 2 on our road trip. So if you're on or if you watch it later when it's recorded, put down some comments in there and we'll answer them when we get a chance. So anyway, the first update I gave you is when we were in Winslow, Arizona. So that was July 1st. So July 2nd, we left Winslow driving we were going to Santa Rosa, New Mexico. But our first stop was just outside of Amarillo to a place called Cadillac Ranch. So if you've never seen Cadillac Ranch, if you're ever in that area, check it out. It's kind of neat to see. It's a place where there's I think 7 or 8 Cadillacs buried in their hoods up there by some students that did this and got permission. And people stop and they take spray cans of paint and paint their names on and everything. So that's it's pretty cool to see that. That was my first time seeing that. And then after we left there, we went into Amarillo to the Big Texan and had lunch. Still a little bit disappointed that they don't serve breakfast anymore. Uh, and here comes the Nickel City Mafia man, Mr. Mike. How you doing, Mike? Glad to see you. You got any? If you have any questions of either me or Nick, just shoot them, and we'll try to get them back to you. Well, anyway, like I said, we stopped at Cadillac Ranch just outside of Amarillo, and then we went into the Big Texan, which is a famous restaurant, to have lunch. I was disappointed because ever since COVID, they don't do any breakfasts, so there's no steak and eggs type thing anymore there. So we left Amarillo and we drove into Santa Rosa. We've been real lucky so far as the weather. There's been storms, but they either been before we were in a place or after we've been in a place. So except for last night when we were here, we got it rained on outside here. And so then after we left there, we left Santa Rosa the next day, and we traveled. Oh, I'm trying to remember what we did. We left Santa Rosa and we headed for Oklahoma City, and I thought we did something in between there.
Santa Rosa to Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Trying to remember.
look in the book there. See if you can see if it. How's Nick driving? I'm going to tell you, his driving from day one is improved 100%. He's doing a pretty good job on the interstates for the first time of having that much wheel time. With trucks and all of that other garbage that goes on. Yeah, so he's been doing good. So we got into we got into Oklahoma City, and we spent the night in Oklahoma City. And we got up the next morning and we went to the Oklahoma City's National Museum for the bombing that occurred in 1995. Uh, I highly recommend anybody going through Oak City to stop and see it. It's going to be a little bit sad, but the presentation that they put together and the memorial that they put together for that bombing people was really, really nice.
Yeah, it says that was when we went to Cadillac Ranch. It was between
Yeah.
Oklahoma
So,
City.
yeah. Oh, okay. So that was day 3 then. No, whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, we saw that, and then we got on the road after we got out of that museum, and we drove into Memphis and got here July 4th. I missed a day somewhere along there, but that's all right. We got here on July 4th, and we were in town probably about 3 hours, and we were sitting in the hotel. We're going to get ready to go down to Beale Street when Nick got a big surprise when his grandma D showed up at the hotel, and she's been with us for a couple of days doing some things. So that was a big surprise for him, and we've had a plan for a long time. So he liked that. And so then yesterday we got up in Memphis and we went down to Sun Studio. That's where the rock and roll was created. That's where Jerry Lee Lewis and Elvis Presley and Johnny Cash and all of them recorded their first records and did their first things in that. So that was like the start of rock and roll as far as recording studios got. We took the tour in there. I've been on that tour before, but I enjoyed it again. Didn't matter. So after we left the uh, Sun Studio, we went over to Graceland. and we took the tour of Graceland and see how Elvis lived back there, and got a lot of more history and everything. And I've been there before too, but I really enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it. The prices have gone up so much, but that's life. And so that was a great place, a great visit. And we got to walk through and see all of the cars that he owned, and there's a whole bunch of memorabilia on the one side across the street from the mansion. So after we left the mansion, I took a little detour. We were going to head back to the hotel, but I took a little detour and I drove them down to the Lorraine Motel. I wanted to get a picture, but they didn't let anybody up on the ramp. Lorraine Motel is where Martin Luther King was killed, and they still have the wreath on front of the door where he was shot. And I wanted to get a picture with them there, but we couldn't get up onto the ramp without going through the museum first, and the museum was closed. So that was that. So then, last night, we went back down to Beale Street and walked around and checked out a few things. And I don't even remember where we ate last night or anything. So anyway, today we got up. Today is July 6th.
Last night was Gus's.
Oh, yeah. Last night we went to Gus's famous fried chicken in Memphis. You can look this in TripAdvisors or anything. I have never been there before, and I've been to Memphis several times. Tried the chicken out. It's a very small place. It's very popular, and I enjoyed it a lot. So that was another thing off of the checklist. And so today we got up and, okay, catch my breath here. The first thing we did is we walked down to the Peabody Hotel to see the famous Peabody ducks. That is quite a presentation. If you've never seen it and you're in Memphis, go, because you're not going to be the only ones going to see it. There's kids, adults, seniors, everybody go to see this thing. It's a presentation where 5 ducks come down from the roof, down the elevator. They open up the elevator doors. The ducks go across the red carpet, and then they get into a pool fountain. And they stay in that fountain till 5 in the afternoon from 11 in the morning, never get out of the fountain. And then when the duck master comes back at 5 o'clock and picks them up, they walk out of the pond, they go back in the elevator, and they go back up into the roof where they live in the duck palace, I guess they call it up there. So that was pretty cool. So then we wasted some time, and we went down and we took I think it's called the Mojo Bus Tour. This is a tour of Memphis. A lot of it we're doing along with musical stuff tour, and the tour guide is a musician, and he was playing a guitar and singing songs as he brought through the tour. That's fun. I've been on this one before too, but that was a lot of fun. So we got that, and then one of our goals was tonight. We came back to the hotel for a while, and tonight we went back down to Beale Street, and we went to the Rum Boogie Cafe for dinner just before the band started, and it was, I forget the name of the band now, but
Eric Hughes, I think.
Eric Hughes. I guess he's on Pandora or something like that too. But they played a whole set of blues, and they were really good. So this is one of the goals is having a dinner in a place with live entertainment, so Nick could see the live entertainment. So I'll ask Nick. I said, so far, okay, out of everything we did in Memphis, what did you like the most?
I like Beale Street. Just walking down Beale Street.
Yeah, Beale Street, yeah. So Beale Street is really cool. And in the past, I've told people that Memphis is my favorite town, and I could live in here. People if you've never been to Memphis, I don't think you can ever understand that how cool of a town it is. The architecture and the people are so friendly and everything. So that was that. So tomorrow we are back on the road. Tomorrow we're getting up in the morning. We're taking this grandmother to the airport, dropping her off, and she's heading back to California. And then we're on the road for a 2-day run up to Buffalo. We're hoping to be in the Buffalo sometime on Saturday afternoon, the 8th. So it's been good so far. We're both still healthy, but other than that,
my finger.
Except Nick had a little accident in Winslow. No, not Winslow.
Santa Rosa.
In Santa Rosa, he reached into his backpack and cut his finger on the razor. So that we had to get Band-Aids, and then we had to stop at Walmart to pick up more Band-Aids the next day. But other than that, we're doing fine. Car's doing great, good gas mileage. And other than that, everything's doing fine. I see there's a few other people that were on before, but nobody wanted to chime in.
I think there's another chat message you didn't look at.
Oh, great job, Nicky. So, sorry, I had that covered up, Mike.
Thank you.
With the mouse. So I checked in on your show last night, Mike, and I want to leave some comments on there a little bit more. You optimistic guys crack me up, but you guys are doing a great job over there in Nickel City Mafia. And anybody that's unfamiliar with them, go check them out. That's my son's channel. They do great stuff about the Buffalo Bills. They have a great golf thing where the guys talk about the upcoming tournaments every week and the DraftKings and the good bets and everything. And they also have two guys that do fantasy football that's really, really good on there. And so they got a lot of good information. So check them out. That's Nickel City Mafia. Okay, I am going to shut this baby down. I just wanted to be a quick update on that. So I'll probably give you as an update once we get into Buffalo, and then we do a couple things. So until then, the SoCalSabre saying take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and stay safe.